Hi, this is Reverend Joanna Bartlett, and in this video I'm going to talk about another one of the myths of grief, which is that we should grieve alone. So as you might be able to tell from my accent, I am originally English, and I am, in some ways it's interesting, in some ways I'm very stereotypically English, and so, stiff upper lip and all of that is really stuff that I was taught as a child. It is not just a stereotype. I really was taught these things, and it really has affected the way that I deal with grief. So much so that even when I was doing the training to become a certified grief recovery specialist and had already, read the grief recovery handbook and was doing the work and all of that and signed up for training, even then I said, but like grieving on my own, dealing with the stuff on my own, like, isn't that just part of my personality? It turns out that it's not really so much of who I am as a person, who I think I am as a person. It's what I've been taught. Because growing up, I know that when something sad or difficult happened, when loss of any kind occurred, I was told that if I was going to cry about it, I needed to go to my room. Um, that's what I got. And the other fun, helpful phrases like, if I'll give you something to cry about, and those sorts of things. Not particularly helpful, honestly, in terms of actually giving us tools to deal with grief. Instead, they give us this unfortunate misinformation that nobody wants to be around us if we're going to be sad and unhappy and crying, even if we have completely legitimate reasons for doing so. When you experience loss in your life, you're supposed to cry. I mean, like, it's okay if you don't cry, and it's okay if you do. Whatever reaction it is that you're having, it's okay. You're allowed to have that reaction. There's nothing wrong with you. Doing it on your own, not reaching out to other people for help, and especially not receiving the help that you really need, which is sometimes just a hug or a listening ear or the just kind, compassionate responses from people. It doesn't help you move through the grief and the loss and the pain. It just leaves you feeling incomplete. When my mum died, my kids they were young. They were 4 and 6. Were they 4 and 6? I think so. They were young. It was a while ago. That sounds about right. And my youngest child had a really hard time with their nanny dying. They are non-binary gendered, so their pronouns are they and them, and I usually get them right. And so they would often cry. I would often find them in their room, like crying, and I would ask why and what's wrong, and they'd say, I miss Nanny, and they would have like all this stuff from my mum in their room, the curtains and the bedspread and stuff, which they wanted and they loved, and I think also, brought up those feelings of sadness. And I could have said, okay, well, I'll leave you alone. You can just cry by yourself. And I could have hidden my own feelings and grief from my child Ben, but I didn't. I somehow checked in with my heart and went, it's okay. It's okay that they're grieving. It's okay that I'm grieving, and we can grieve together. And so I would curl up with them in their bed, and we would both have a good cry about Nanny, and we would talk about her and what we loved about her and what we missed about her and what drove us crazy about her as well, because I like to keep it real. And I think that helped both of us. It certainly helped me. It helped me feel like I wasn't alone, that I was able to be vulnerable and be real with somebody that I loved and somebody that loved me. I didn't just have to be strong for my child, that I got to be me. Neither of us completely fell apart. Nothing horrible happened. We just had some good cuddles and some good cries, and it helped us move through what we were feeling and the grief and the loss that we were feeling after her death. So I'm going to leave that one with you for now, for you to ponder and think about. See how that feels for you in your heart. See what comes up for you when you think about, oh, what if I don't have to do this on my own? What if I can share this pain that I'm feeling with other people, and it can be received it can be accepted and received and responded to in a way that actually nourishes me and helps me heal. I'll see you in the next video.